Welcome back to the Switch Sports Golf Ranked League. We have an incredibly stacked lobby here. I'll put the graphic on the screen in a second. But there are 1,700 players in the Switch Sports Golf Discord. Over 200 have a ELO rank. And we have 6 of the top 10 and entirely within the top 20 inside this lobby. So an incredibly stacked lobby. This should be extremely competitive. We should see some great play. And we'll start off on hole 1 here, with no wind and the front pin.
Nice shot.
So we should see a whole bunch of eagles. This is a pretty straightforward play. You just have to hit a 100% drive, just full power, no adjustment. And the second shot is a dead aim shot, so you can aim right at the pin, and as long as you get the power perfect, it should automatically fall. So the power you need in this competitive play, so the tees are a little bit further back than one player mode, but you need 3.1 dots of power. We see one make already. Busy has sunk it. A couple more are on their way in. JTS makes it. I'll make it as well. It looks like G Yersey has just missed to the right. We'll see a couple other ones fall as well. My replay got in the way of seeing who it was. It looks like Duke also made it, the #1 player in the world. CBTV will make it. And this is Mike, who has changed his name, but I'll be calling him Mike. He changed his name, I think, for this one game. We'll end up just a little bit short, and Charlotte will make it as well. So I believe we have 6 eagles out of the group here, and 2 birdies. So on hole 1 with no wind, 6 of the 8 take advantage of those conditions. And there's a 6-way tie for first at -2 through 1. We'll move on to hole 18 here. We play a random 9, so all the holes are kind of completely mixed up. 18 is also a fairly eagleable hole, and we see some kind of helping wind here. So the drive is pretty automatic to that left fairway. You can get to this 1 and 2, no problem, and I should be able to use, I believe, the 5-iron here. Yeah, so the 5-iron is going to be the play. I want to aim just left. Now the wind is going to cause this to come in real hot, so I think this one is going to have a tough time stopping even with backspin. And it does kind of get that launch. Doesn't hurt too much though, it doesn't go super far. We'll be able to tap that up and in for the eagle. It looks like Duke will eagle as well. There's one tougher putt from the back of the green that Charlotte will make. So an off-screen make on a tougher putt for Charlotte there. JTS with an excellent approach. He'll be up on that 3rd shelf. And it looks like Mike will also sink the tougher putt from the back of the green. So a couple of shots launched to the back there, but everyone eagles. And there's still a 6-way tie at 4 under par through 2. So eagles are abundant in this lobby, which is unsurprising. And we'll have hole 17 here with a back left pin and some moderate light crosswind. So not the most difficult conditions on hole 17, but hole 17 is never straightforward. I'm going to take a little bit off of this drive.
Nice shot.
Almost full power, but not quite. We'll see some people on the green, some people off to the back. My shot will launch all the way to the back, so I have the toughest chip, at least that I can see so far. We'll see a couple birdies from the people who put it a little bit closer. A nice chip there from G Yersey from off the green. Charlotte will sink a birdie as well. I think I saw CB and Mike also sink birdies. And I'm going to have a tougher chip. So with 1 dot of power and that crosswind, I'll sink it. So I'll save the birdie there, which was absolutely necessary because everyone else birdied as well. So everyone who was off the green chipped in, and everyone who was on the green made their putts, and we still have a 6-way tie for first at 5 under through 3. We'll move on to hole 5 here, which is our 4th hole that we're playing. And we'll see some kind of helping wind. Now, it's not pure tailwind, but 11 miles an hour pushing up and to the left
Nice shot.
is not the most difficult of conditions on this hole. So we'll be able to put this pretty close in 2. I don't think with the diagonal wind we can get there in 2. But you can get that safely left of that pine tree. Looks like everyone's going to end up in the same spot over here. And on the second shot, the direction of this one becomes, causes the wind to become more of a crosswind. So we'll just hit this as far as we can. Get as close as possible in 2. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. So this isn't the easiest of chips. It's always a little more difficult to this pin. But this is the local pin that I've been playing in my challenge series every day. So I've had a good amount of practice with this one. I'll want to use the 9-iron and give this the little bump and run. Duke with a real close approach there just misses it. So I'm going to want to aim about pin high on the minimap. It should land just a little bit short and roll up there. And I will sink it. So a nice eagle. My 3rd eagle in 4 holes. And we're on a great pace in this extremely competitive lobby. So a nice shot there. We'll see a bunch of other really close approaches. I saw G. Yersey ended up just short. Charlotte, it looks like, ended up just a little past the hole. CB, I think, rolled up to the right. And we'll see Busy lip out. So a tough break there. Mike puts it real close, and JTS will chip it in. What a shot from JTS. So there'll at least be a 2-way tie for first between me and JTS. Busy will sink a tough little side hill putt there for birdie. So we will have 2 players at 7 under through 4. I am one of them. JTS will join me. Duke, CB, Busy, Charlotte are all in 3rd place at 6 under. So an extremely low scoring round so far. We'll move on to hole 15 here for our 5th hole in this 9-hole match. We'll see some tougher crosswind, so this one's not going to be easy. If we see any hole outs, that would be great for whoever made it, because I don't think we'll see too many. So with this one, I'm going to use the 7-iron. Since we have some headwind, we'll put a little bit of extra power on it with some backspin. That looks like it's on a good line. That should come back down to the right, but it just won't be enough. So I'll end up missing it just to the left. And I'll have to putt. Oh, JTS's shot lips out. Was that a 180-degree lip out for JTS, who was tied with me for first? Wow. Tough break there for JTS. I'll tap in my birdie. JTS will birdie as well. We'll see birdies from the rest of the group, except for it looks like G. Yersey. I missed what happened there. But I'll be at 8 under, still tied with JTS, and we'll have a 4-way tie for 3rd right behind us. We'll move on to hole 13 here, our 6th hole. And this one, with some extremely light winds, feels pretty makeable. So we'll want to use the spoon, just a little over 2 dots of power to account for the wind. And we can give that a run. So that should kick to the right. It will, but I'll just miss to the left. So maybe a slight over adjustment for the wind. Possibly a little bit too much power on that as well, and I'll just miss it. Fortunately, we'll have a pretty nice birdie putt here. JTS ended up right next to the hole. So a real close call there. Someone will roll it in. That was Mike with a hole-in-one. Wow. A nice hole-in-one on a very precise play when there's any sort of wind here. We'll see Busy tap in a birdie, and Duke, who's still on the tee, will get a full view of his shot. And he will sink it, so the #1 player in the world, unsurprisingly, sinks the hole-in-one there to join us at 9 under through 6. So a 3-way tie at the top, and we'll have 4 players at 8 under after Mike also hits the hole-in-one. So a very, very stacked up leaderboard there.
Nice shot.
We'll move on to hole 9, where we'll see some moderate crosswind. Or actually, that was very light crosswind, 2 miles an hour. So we can't reach this in 2. Now, maybe you could get down to the right part of the green, or right of the green in the rough. But I'm going to play this one just to the bottom of the fairway. That feels like the safer play for me. So we'll hit that just over 2 dots of power. That should roll down there nicely. And that pin, kind of the middle left pin, is one of the more accessible ones. So what we'll want to do is land this about pin high and just left of the hole, and the slope of the green should push that back to the right if we put some backspin on this. So my plan here is to aim just a tiny bit to the right to allow this to move a little left with the wind. Busy has chipped in
Nice shot.
for an eagle. My shot's on a great line here. That should roll back, and it will fall for an eagle. So the game calls that a chip in, but really that's just a make from the fairway. A nice 100+ yard shot that moves slightly left with the wind, rolls back down the hill, and sinks. So kind of a clutch eagle there, because we did also see another make. JTS will tap in for the birdie. Now, I'm not sure if Duke made that shot. I don't believe so, so I may have the solo lead as Mike's shot misses just to the right. So there is a lot of precision involved with that one. I got pretty lucky that mine sunk, because we saw a whole bunch of shots just miss. CB, I believe, took the play to the right of the green and chipped across, but ended up just on the fringe. So a nice save for CB on that birdie there. So Busy and I will make it from the fairway. I'll take the solo lead at 11 under through 7. So I've made 4 eagles in this round, which is pretty good. We'll move on to hole 16 here with some tougher winds. 20 miles an hour in the face is not the easiest, but we should be able to make that shortcut. The wind will help, so we'll bounce starting OB, but fortunately it makes its way out of there. I believe Busy just chipped in for the second hole in a row, so Busy has made 2 nice eagles. My shot looks to be a little bit long. However, I put a lot of spin on it, and it will. Okay, it'll roll back, but it'll just miss. That came back with a lot of speed, which is unsurprising, given how much wind there was and the slope of this green. So not the best touch there. I'll have to hit that back up the hill and barely sneak it in the left side. Ooh. Who just lipped out there? I believe that was Mike. Duke made a par. I'm not exactly sure what happened with Duke there. I thought he hit a good drive. Maybe. I mean, there is the tee position game on hole 16, which is always tough. Some tees end up getting completely screwed over. So, hole 16 oftentimes isn't the fairest hole. And this is our final hole here. We'll have hole 2 with some moderate wind pushing us to the right. Mike has hit the flag. My shot's leaking a little too far to the right, so that's not going to be a make. But it will be a nice leave. We'll be within about 4 feet or so for the birdie putt. JTS has birdied as well. So I'm tied with Busy. We'll have to see if Busy makes that shot. Duke's shot hits the flag on the bounce, and he'll tap in for birdie. So no one makes a hole-in-one. Busy and I are tied for first. We'll move on to the closest to pin, which we've agreed on as the tiebreaker here. There are some different rules within the Discord match, but as long as we agree on what we want to do for the tiebreaker, we can go with it. So our closest to pin is going to be from the upper fairway on hole 12. And it looks like we'll have no wind as well, so a very interesting closest to pin setup here. I'm going to want to use the 3-iron and land this just a little left of the hole. So a full 3-iron with backspin is going to be my play here. I think that's going to give us a real shot. Busy's character is going absolutely wild. Perhaps some gamesmanship. Okay, that's exactly the shot I wanted. That should land just short and just left. Now, will that roll back nicely? It'll fall. I will make the closest to pin challenge. And that's essentially like getting an albatross on hole 12. So that shot feels really good. We'll have to see what happens with Busy here, because with no wind... Oh my goodness. Busy's shot lips out. So an unfortunate end there for Busy, but I'll take the solo win in an extremely competitive lobby. That's going to get me 89 ELO points, and my rank will jump from 11 to 8. We saw some unsurprising, fantastic play from everyone there. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you in the next one.